one and only thing that
Education Minister Paul Calandra says he introduced new legislation today because he needs the power to act more quickly against school boards. It comes after several boards were embroiled in spending controversies. In one case, a trip to Italy to buy art. 4 trustees from the Brant Haldeman Norfolk Catholic Board spent well over $100,000. In another case, members of the Thames Valley Board spent $40,000 to travel to Toronto for a Blue Jays game and stay at the hotel there. That board already under supervision.
The legislation, if passed, gives the minister the authority to step in much sooner and does not require a third party telling us to do the job that we're meant to do.
He'll be able to step in for financial or non-financial reasons. All 3 opposition parties are concerned this amounts to a power grab and that some other system would be better.
Where people can call out bad actors on the school trustees, we can go through integrity commissioners, and we can find a punishment that meets the crime.
They're just picking a fight with boards. A small handful of organizations don't have great governance. The small minority. And the government's saying, we've got a big problem. We have to get this law to give ourselves more power.
Also in the bill, school resource officers or police officers in school would become mandatory in a board if a local police service offers it. Some school boards had ended that program following opposition and citing students feeling unsafe. Opposition parties say what schools really need is more funding. The NDP saying cops in schools is not what parents want.
They want to see more teachers and education workers, mental health professionals who can actually provide supports. Forcing school resource officers on school boards is not actually addressing that situation.
Teachers' unions are not happy with this bill. The English Catholic Union saying this undermines the local decision-making by trustees and also ignores years of underfunding by the Ford government. While ETFO, the Elementary Teachers Federation, it refers to this as authoritarianism. Minister Calandra says this bill is not expected to pass until fall. Lorenda Redicomp, CBC News, Toronto.
If we close our eyes, all we see is flames.
We don't remember that.
The haunting remains of a fire at Shah's Indian Cuisine. Tables still set for friends and families to break bread and share a laugh. Plates, cups, and cutlery covered in ashes and buried under rubble.
And then towards the back of the restaurant is where the owner says he used to sit every single day and engage with customers. You can see that the chairs are melted down, but just a lot of dining ware where people would normally be sitting.
I don't know, man, I'm speechless. I'm getting emotional. I had so many amazing meals here. We spent so much time. We built this brick by brick, and I cannot look at it. It used to smell very different to what I'm smelling it today. It used to smell like fresh food.
It's the first time the owner has seen the damage. He and his team heartbroken. What took years to build, gone in a matter of minutes. On Friday, 4 employees were inside around 2:45 a.m., closing up for the night when 3 men came in.
Wearing masks and fully covered, they were terrifying. The moment I went there, they saw us and they threw fire on the floor.
Just over 24 hours later, and about 300 meters away along Kennedy Road, another restaurant called BC, owned by the same people, was torched. Security video obtained by CBC Toronto shows 2 men with a jerry can walk up around 3:30 Saturday morning, break in, and set it on fire. The restaurant that had been open for just 6 days is gone now.
We want justice!
The 2 restaurants employ about 80 people, many of whom gathered in solidarity. Siva Rapika owns a total of 6 restaurants in the Scarborough area and 30 across Canada. He says he's had to spend lots of money staffing his businesses with private security, told by police they are at high risk of being attacked.
I think it's organized crime. I don't know who's doing this. I cannot give you more details, but we feel like we're targeted for a reason.
Sometimes there are disgruntled employees, sometimes there are disgruntled suppliers, sometimes there are disgruntled people who didn't get their way, like babies. Other times there's people who want to take over things for nefarious reasons. We don't know.
Police are looking for 3 men who set Friday's fire and 2 men they say are responsible for Saturday's blaze who fled in a silver SUV. Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
She didn't deserve this. She deserved the best of everything, not this.
Anita Singh talks about her daughter, Shalini, who vanished in December. Police have been searching for her ever since. 2 days after she went missing, police started investigating the case as a homicide, believing she was killed inside her apartment. Detectives suspect her body was discarded through the building's garbage disposal system. That led them here, the Glanbrook landfill. Since February, officers have been combing through a 5,000 cubic meter area where they believe the apartment waste was dumped.
I can now confirm that on Wednesday, May the 21st, we recovered partial human remains within that target site.
Officers suspect it's Singh's body, but need that confirmed through DNA.
And it could take several weeks before those confirmed results come to us.
Initially, Singh and her boyfriend were both reported missing, but police tracked him down back in December.
He has not cooperated throughout this investigation.
Even when pressed by reporters, officers did not identify the boyfriend or anyone else as a suspect. They also haven't determined a cause of death, something that forensic investigators will now try to figure out.
Afraid to find out what happened to her. But we have to know what happened to her. And I hope she didn't suffer too much.
Her parents say Singh loved making people laugh and was always the first person to help others, working as a mental health crisis worker and volunteering for a suicide prevention council.
The closure is never final till we have all our questions answered.
As they await those difficult answers, Singh's parents say they are hanging on to her memory. Mercedes Gastambide, CBC News, Toronto.